I want to try to show you guys how I doctor her feet up. The cream that I use is it's an intense relief hand cream from CVS. It's called Blade for Men, and it works on my hands really well. What I'm gonna do is she's real touchy right now because she knows I'm about to treat her feet and get her all doctored up, and then I'll do it again a couple days from now if it needs it. So naturally, she's gonna want to fight a little bit. I'm gonna try to. I wish I could zoom in more so I could show you guys what exact. Well, maybe I can. Maybe I could go here like this and then extend the tripod and then go down closer. This is the part she doesn't like. So what I do is I just use a nice warm sponge with some Dawn dish soap, and then I'll clean her feet. I'll use the brush side just real lightly to go over any areas where I might see a little dried up blood. See right there, just to kind of knock the blood off the surface. Let's see if I can get closer. See there, I've got the blood knocked off of the surface. Yeah, this morning I had to go out and one of the guys that's staying here in the motel that I'm staying in, he see how all that dry skin that was there before, it's all kind of wiped away now, and that big chunk of dried up blood's gone. And there's like a spot right in here. I'll get it wet first and let it start to get soft, and I'll just barely brush across it and knock the stuff off. But there was a guy this morning when I went to go walk her. Um, he's an insurance adjuster for like State Farm, down in Alabama, and his car wouldn't start this morning, so I had to do a bunch of work to get his car actually started for him because the battery was dead, terminals and stuff were rotten. And I came up and just basically washed my hands. I went out and started working on my vehicle. So a lot of people say, your hands are always dirty in the videos. Well, my hands aren't dirty. It's my nails that are dirty. And I try to wash them the best that I can, but I've just learned to live with it now. I'm a mechanic. It's what I do for a living. So all that dry skin that was built up right in there, it's almost all gone now. I just kind of knock it away. And then over the next couple days, there's a little bit of dry skin right in here. So just real lightly, it's gone. There's just a little piece. Okay, so see, to the touch now, she's not moving or jerking or anything. Before, when I was touching all this, she was jerking her foot away because it was really irritating being dry like that. So now that it's all cleaned up with this warm sponge with a little bit of Dawn dish soap, I'll come back with a wet cloth and wipe it off. And now do a little bit of drying. Come here, baby girl. Now that that's all good, I'm going to do a video right after this on how to clean your dog's nose, all that crust that builds up on their nose. A lot of people don't know that you can actually clean that yourself. You don't have to put cream or anything on it. There's a simple way to do it. My dog is part of my health. My dog is part of my journey, and I've seen a lot of other keto YouTubers and stuff that have their dogs in their pictures, and I'm surprised they don't incorporate their dogs in their life more. I like my dog being in my pictures with me because she's a part of me, and that's just how that is. I think that I could make, because a lot of you have to deal with stresses of going to vets and everything else. I mean, that's a real life stress. I feel a little dry spot down in here they can catch before. Yeah, good thing it's wet from the rag, and I can go ahead and scrape that away and then put some cream on it. As long as the cream doesn't have what do you call it, fragrances and stuff. I'll just buy a regular healing cream with medication, like a medicated cream. But outside of that, I don't buy anything with fragrances to it. I don't like all that stuff. Unless it's like a body spray. I might do something like that. Does that feel good now? Does that feel good, baby girl? It's not all dry and itchy anymore? Oh. There's a spot right in here that we gotta get. Go ahead and try to just lightly scrape away as much as I can with my hand. And then I'll get that cloth. I used to be a farmhand on a farm down in Arkansas. So I would, it's a diesel mechanic during the day. And then I would go in the evening time from about 5 o'clock until 10 o'clock at night. And I would go tend the farm. I did this for, I don't know, about 8 months. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot from the vet down there. I learned a lot from doing it. You know, I had 20 horses, 30 cows, about 10 sheep, and then they had 4 family dogs as well as the kids. So, you know, I was out with the kids a lot, you know, dealing with the animals and stuff like that, as well as dealing with cows that have, you know, calves that have been killed by coyotes overnight. You know, you have to get rid of them. You have to dispose of the bodies, and put a couple donkeys out there to kind of save the cows. And the donkeys will actually run off the coyotes and stuff. They'll protect them. So we ended up getting a couple donkeys to put out there. But I learned a lot of like stuff that I know now through them. She's got a growth on her left leg right here that I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to get rid of it. Well, you know, a lot of people, they think this stuff's dangerous, but I've been around animals so long now that there's very little I need to be taught about how to deal with something that they're dealing with. And I'm going to show you how I get rid of that growth. It's about the size of a nickel. It's pretty big. Okay, no more dry. It's nice, and I try to always feel between her toes, make sure I'm not missing anything, see if there's not any ticks down in there. And then when I bathe her, I always make sure I reach my fingers inside her paws and bathe. You know, they get little cracks right here in between their toes, and you got to make sure that you get that salve in there to clean it up. Now, let me see the other one, girl. Come here. We're going to do this one quick so you don't have to sit here and deal with it. So basically I just open up her feet and I just look inside to make sure. I just bathed her the other day, so she shouldn't have anything built up anywhere. Come here, girl. It's kind of ticklish to them. You get inside their paws and they don't really like you messing with their feet too much anyway. I know she doesn't. So I'm feeling bones, trying to figure out if there's anything stuck in there. And then I go through the top. I almost, you know, I do this almost every night when we lay down next to each other in bed. I'll let her curl up next to me. I'll mess with her for a little while, check her feet out. Feet is critical with them. Feet in areas that overlap that they can't see. Another area that they might get ticks is back here by her Zusha. If you just, in this area, I just look around skin-wise and stuff like that and see, is everything okay? Does she have any blemishes down here on her belly where she can't see, can't really get to? Everything's fine, nice and pink, or just like a whitish pink. I know she's good, she's not hurting or anything. So that's one way of looking at things with her. I've learned her better than I've learned any dog, which has helped me to be able to help other people and their dogs. Any areas that look a little red, like this area right in here, it really looks like it's a little bit more red than the others. I'm not going to run the brush across that because I don't want it irritated anymore, but I am going to try to clean it off as much as I can. As much as she'll stop from fighting me. The whole goal here is to not make her more uncomfortable, but make her, you know, by the end of it, feel somewhat relieved. And when they're drying on the back of their pad like this here, she's starting to get You can't really see too much. I wish I had, I need to get one of those studio lighting things. When they get dry right here on the back of their pad, I notice she starts to get irritated. And I got to take extra cream and stuff and put on there. See, I see some dry spots right in here. I can see where the skin is starting, or the hair is starting to mat up in this corner. So what I'll do before I even... Thank you, I really appreciate that. See, when I'm touching this here, I can see her, like, I can feel her jumping through her leg a little bit. She's twitching and she's pulling back right in here. And I know that's really giving her a problem. So at this point, I don't want to cause any more discomfort. I want to stop. And I'm going to go to the rag that's wet right on the corner and just going to lightly rub it. Because I know she's not liking that right there. And that's, I don't want her to end up resenting me for doing this. So that's pretty clean there. Everywhere is pretty clean overall. I'm just going to do one light rub and dry off the moisture and stuff that's here. No more discomfort on this area, because she's already starting to let me know that she's not feeling it. She's like, dude, you need to chill. And I'm taking that signal from her to let her know that she's at least being kind enough to let me do this. That I need to just go ahead and finish up. Don't make her feel any more uncomfortable than what she's already. Nothing crazy going on here. And I'll really address the back of this pad right here where it's extra dry. You can't see it too much on the camera because I'm just using an S9, but... And then the areas where they get the most dry is in between the toes, right where they come together. Right in here, it's extra dry. So I'm going to rub a little extra where I wouldn't normally rub it. I'm going to make sure that I really get that in there. Kind of stop some of that discomfort. Alright, girl. Alright, I'm trying to hurry. Let me just go ahead and get it done. Alright, I'm sorry. Here's some more. Just a little bit more. She should stop fighting me here in a second as this cream starts to soften everything up. It'll stop hurting. Okay. Alright. I'm done. I'm done, chica. I'm done. I'm not gonna mess with your foot no more. While I'm here, I normally, cause in the bath the other day I did it, and because there's areas that don't get washed very well, I just wipe her. And I apologize if some people think this is just too much, but you know, this is, if you got an animal, I feel like this is stuff everybody should be paying attention to. But in her area here, it can get kind of raw, and all dogs are like that. I just try to clean a little bit where she normally can't get to, or where she's got to struggle to get to now that she's getting older. And I just don't want her to feel uncomfortable. And pretty sure if she knew what was going on right now, she wouldn't want to be on camera doing all this. But the actual vaginal part of a dog is not right here where you're looking. It's actually inside them. So everybody thinks that, oh, that's disgusting. Why is that owner touching? That's not what that is. That's just a protective area. I don't know what it's called. I don't know the exact name. The portion of it's actually inside the dog. She's getting older and she needs extra attention sometimes because she's not as flexible as she was before. She used to keep her own area clean. Now it's starting to really hurt her a little bit. And I try to make sure that she stays up to snuff, you know, up to par. I don't want, your animal can be a direct reflection of what's going on with you. And if I don't want her to be uncomfortable at all. Okay, come here, give me them front feet. Now the front feet is the big problem with her. The front feet, because that's what they use to, Tom. Now this is going to be this one's not so bad. Come here, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. See, she's more calm now. I mean, she's jittery and she's jumping, she's pulling away, but now she can actually see what I'm doing. She doesn't have an issue as much when she can see what's going on. See, it's a little dry right there. There's a little blood. So I'm just going to barely wipe that out with a little just wet sponge. It's a little dry in here. I'm not going to focus on irritating it anymore. Just wipe it a little bit out with the non-abrasive side. Just clean it some. Clean our pad. Kind of run it in between a little where there's no issue. Go ahead and wipe it out now. Get all the moisture out of it. I wondered the other day when she was kind of stepping weird on this foot what it was, and there it is right there. There's that dry area starting to show. It's starting to get red and a little blood coming to the surface. So that's a good indication. She wouldn't let me see what was going on the other day, so I kind of just let it pass off. But then I thought, you know what? You need to just go ahead and make sure she's okay. So there's a little dry spot right here on her pad where she makes contact with the ground. Every time she puts her foot down, it's a little dry right in here. I'm going to put a little extra cream on that and kind of keep her laying on the bed for the next hour or two and let it really soften that pad up. Get a bunch right there. A bunch on that pad. Yeah, see, already it's starting to really soak that. It's really starting to soak that lotion and stuff in now. She's a good girl. Just get a little bit more in this front area. Feels kind of dry still. It's okay, baby. It's okay. It's all right. A little bit more back here. This pad back here never makes contact, but I still try to put some lotion on it every once in a while. It's the one in the very far back. And at least just rub it until I don't feel no dry edges. I don't feel anything right now. This one is really softened up quite a bit already. See, now it's real nice and moist. Just try to overdo it so you know it's not the dry skin soaking it all in and then there's nothing left. I just really focus on. Now she's starting to relax. Now she's relaxing. She's kind of like chill mode now, like spa day. Uh-oh, there's a dry spot right there. Right on the edge right here, there's a dry spot. See if I can, yeah, it picked off. It came off too. Okay, good. That's like their nose. I'll show you what happens in a second with the nose. You see how that stuff right there is coming off of it? It's the same material, or it's almost the same material like the padding on their nose. And it's because it's moist, it's just starting to pull right off of there. It's like an area that got dry at one time. And a lot of times you can just peel it off and it'll just come off in those little chunks like that. That's why I got the cover and stuff pulled back right now so you guys can see exactly. Doggy maintenance sometimes is not for everybody. Sometimes people can't do this. There's another dry spot right there on this other pad. Let me focus on the new place. I'm going to make sure I get a set of camera lights so I can set them up where you guys can see everything. Come on, you're pulling away from me, girl. I know. She gave me a little huff just now, like, come on, dude, you're not done yet? There we go. It's not so dry anymore. Rubbing that lotion in it. Okay. Her name is Paige. Like Paige from a book. Paige. Alright. Now, the worst for last. Come here. Come. It's okay. It's okay. Let's do this one now. But you ain't gonna like it. You're not gonna like it. This is the one that's messed up. Let's see what we can do with this. Yeah, she's already jumpy. It's not so raw as I thought it was going to be, but it's alright, girl. It's alright. It's alright. Relax. Let me see if I can. Okay. I'm not going to take the scab off. Let me see if I can squeeze it a little bit. See if anything will come out. It's not infected? Okay. It's not infected. Check this part of this pad over here. It's a little bit of a dry spot, but it'll come off when I start massaging it. So that spot is good. Checking between her toes here. I don't feel any dry edges, but I do see a little dry spot right here at the tip where the toe comes together. So I'm going to want to really focus a little bit of extra cream right in there. And right on the back here, it's dry. I can feel it. And this pad is really dry around this front part. So, try cleaning out. See if we can scrape some of that built up material off of there. There it is, it came off. Wipe it out, make sure everything's clean. Clean in there. Don't be yanking that foot away from me. There we go. Okay. Okay, Super Trooper girl. We're going to put some cream on there after we clean it out. Dry it up a little bit. Wipe all the soapy area off. Super Trooper of the World page. Isn't that right? Isn't that right, mija? That means you're going to get some steak for dinner. Give you a little piece of sandwich steak. Okay. I'm going to do a separate video on her nose. I'm not going to do it in the same video so people can look at things differently. They don't have to look up just one video and then wait all the way to the end. Yeah, her nose needs to be cleaned up some too, so I want people to see how I do that. See, it already kind of looks like it's lighter. It's not as dark as it was because it cleaned off all that mess. It's a little bit dry right in there. See, I can pick at it. You go ahead and pick that stuff off of there. You better give me that back. Okay, it's coming off. It is coming off. Come here. It's okay. It's okay, mija. It's okay. Almost done. She's a dog, you know. She's walking outside in the dirt and the grass and on the concrete and everything else, and all the moisture gets drawn right out of their feet. And because I don't moisten her feet every week like I should, it's probably part of user error or owner error, and the fact that, you know, she likes to be outside a lot, so I try to get her outside as much as I possibly can. It's okay. Good. A lot better. See, that whole ridge right there had built up all the way around, and I peeled it all off. So now it's all, stay. You see all this stuff that's all over the bed right here? It came from her foot. Give me that. We'll focus on the major area first. Yeah, everybody becomes a professional all of a sudden, and they know what exactly happens by the animals. And then people want to get in the middle of your business and act like they know you and your animal. That's cute. You know, got this guy here on the screen telling me that my dog's feet are a certain way uh, because it's owner error. This girl's outside 4 or 5 times a day. We're staying in a motel right now, so she can't go get. I can't run her 10 miles. And on top of that, she gets a lot of playtime. It has nothing to do with that. That's great, dude. I appreciate you training dogs for a living. Keep doing that. But worry about your dogs that you train, not the dogs that I train. This is a service dog, so this is completely different. I don't. This is how I take care of things. So save the drama for another channel. I've heard what you had to say. I could neglect my dog like most people do, but I choose not to do that. I choose to take care of her, and that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, you know nothing about me or my situation. I work with animals in general, not just specifically dogs. This comes from her being old and not running as much as she used to anymore. And this comes from her just wanting to lay around a lot. She's not big into getting up and going anymore. You know, it's just is what it is. Everybody's a pro, though. All you can try to do is make a correction when you find a problem. Don't you guys love social media? Do you love people in general? Everybody wants to tell you what to do, how to act. They get a kick out of it. And then in real life, they don't even have the nerve to come up to you and say what they would say on the internet. Keyboard warriors or keyboard prima donnas. Yeah, dude, I'm not. I know you watch my stuff, man, but I just think this is kind of inappropriate, man. She's just an old dog and she doesn't do what she did anymore. So you're dissing it out and you're putting it on me 100% that this is the reason why. But here I am sharing how I address the problem and fix an issue like this, and it works and it has worked. But you don't even know my story. You don't even know my situation. So regardless, if you watch everything, you just made yourself look bad because you do watch and you do know my situation and you do know my dog is old and you do know that she can't get around as much anymore and she chooses to lay around a lot. So this is the byproduct of that, not moving as much and not getting out as much. She likes to be outside, but when she goes outside, she'll just lay there. I try to make her walk, but I can't make her walk if she doesn't want to. She's 10.5 years old. Just because we're professionals, that thing doesn't mean the first thing that we say to people is like, okay, it's your fault. You're the problem. Does that feel better? Oh, she's over here falling asleep now. Yeah, it feels better. She's falling asleep. She wasn't falling asleep before. Must be doing something right. Okay, I'm gonna close this video down now that she's feeling and doing a lot better. Feet look a lot better. And I'm going to move over to a better lighted area, and I'm going to show you guys how I clean up her nose.